job is getting fired, right? I mean, that's just, you know, they say it for that reason, but everybody knows what it really is.
With how hard 343 in particular was hit by the layoffs, that left many within the studio wondering, what does this mean for the future of Halo Infinite? And apparently what employees were told is that the studio would continue supporting Halo Infinite's multiplayer and live service elements. It's a shame that this is happening during a time when Halo Infinite seems to be back on the rise with the launch of the Forge mode, through which we've seen tons of amazing user-created content populate the game, and that has re-engaged people back into Halo Infinite after a tumultuous launch period. It sucks that this is happening just as Halo Infinite seems to be catching some momentum.
Is that true? I haven't heard that at all. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe it's like, you know, a graph not going down and then, you know, flatlining or slightly going up is maybe a little bit better, but overall, I don't really see a lot of people playing Halo. I don't see anybody getting excited for Halo. Like, maybe it's better than it was, and that's great, but I think the problem is, like, obviously, like, 343 is the development studio. It's their responsibility to make Halo the way it is, but I do not imagine that the people that work at 343 thought that it was acceptable genuinely. Like, obviously,
your
like,
skill has increased.
They would say it's okay publicly, right? Because they wouldn't want to make their, you know, their owners look bad. But I don't think any of them would think it was okay to release without different features. And I think that it just happened because Microsoft set a deadline for them, or some sort of, like, state, you know, you have to be ready at this time, and that's it. So it kind of sucks whenever Microsoft makes goals, and this is a theoretical, like, I don't know this, I'm just guessing, and I could be totally wrong, but it would suck if Microsoft was making production deadlines for the developers, and then developers have to cut corners because of the production deadlines, and then the developers are the ones that get laid off whenever the game doesn't do well, even though they had to make those decisions because of the deadlines that were made by somebody that wasn't them. It sucks. Yeah, then they were forced to release it early. Exactly. All companies do this, unfortunately. It seems very common nowadays, especially since you can patch things.
Again, it just raises questions as to whether Halo Infinite will have the manpower and resources to really make some kind of major recovery, especially when Joe Staten, the creative director and Halo veteran who joined 343 in 2020...
I want to know... I wish I could have been inside of the room where the leadership for Halo Infinite decided not to have a BR. They decided, yes, this new game mode that almost every single successful FPS game on social media uses, we're not going to have that. Even though we have a system that could probably play pretty well into a BR, no. We're not going to use a BR. We're not going to have it. The only BR Halo needs is a battle rifle. Yeah, there's 7,000 people that think that now, because everybody else quit. So fucking stupid. BRs suck? Well, then why do they keep having... Why, if BRs suck so much, then why are so many people playing them?
To help steer Halo Infinite to the finish line, will depart that outfit and rejoin Xbox's broader publishing division. While he's not leaving Microsoft outright, he is no longer at 343 specifically. He's going to take on a broader role at Xbox, and that means he can't focus on Halo Infinite. And he was such a big part for why Halo Infinite was able to release in the first place amidst that tumultuous development cycle. Jason Schreier added additional context via this follow-up tweet that reads,
I love how there's people that are actually advocating against an extra game mode. In their mind, having an extra game mode is bad. Having an extra game mode that has been popular and dominating the market for FPS games, minus Valorant and CSGO, which is grandfathered in, dominating the fucking market for 5+ years, somehow they still convince themselves that it's a bad idea. So fucking stupid.
Microsoft won't share specific numbers, but several employees have told me that 343 Industries was hit hard. This comes in the wake of a long-running hiring freeze and a lot of contractor departures. Meanwhile, executives are being paid ridiculous sums of money, receiving dozens of millions of dollars worth of compensation. Right here, Jason Schreier made it a point to highlight that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella made $54.95 million in total compensation last year. Now, going back to Joseph Staten, a number of outlets made it a point to highlight the important role that he played for Halo Infinite and previous Halo entries. So this Video Games Chronicle article, for example, noted that Joseph Staten previously worked on the very first Halo titles, among the more renowned Halo titles in the series, mostly focusing on story and characters. Staten was made project lead for Halo Infinite's campaign mode. And then Gene Park from the Washington Post provided additional background about Joseph Staten, stating that Staten was the lead writer of the original Halo games under Bungie, which are all actually cherished.
I actually didn't know that.
He made a lot of changes to Infinite that were welcome. He was very much a positive force for 343 Industries and one of the last bastions of the IP.
I wonder why they got rid of him.
From the beginning, and now with him gone, that's going to definitely be a significant blow to the Halo franchise. Specifically, I think Staten's departure marks the end of additional support for the game's campaign mode, which Staten was made project lead of. That seems doubly likely when you consider that when Pierre Hintz talked to Steph about how we're going to move forward with Halo Infinite, he specifically mentioned that they're going to continue support for Halo Infinite's multiplayer and live service elements, but there's no mention here about additional support for the game's campaign. Which really sucks because I really do feel like Halo Infinite's open world campaign has a ton of potential for further expansion. There's a co-op mode that never really came to light, that was canceled last minute, even though
probably another feature that wasn't ready for release. You know, like that's what's so sad about it.
There is a co-op mode in the game that data miners found that works well enough as it is that they could have finished. Enjoyers of Halo campaigns, I think, were really done dirty.